down with LPP? Yeah, you know me. You down with LPP? Yeah, you know me. You down with LPP? Yeah, you know me.
And we are back at the OPP, the Organic Perspective Podcast. First and foremost, I'd like to thank Yahuwah the Most High for this opportunity. Without him, none of this is possible. Remember, all honor, power, and glory belongs to him, for he is the way, the truth, and the life. With that being said, my gente, mi gente, que lo que hay, my people, what it is. May Yahuwah bless everybody that joins in this conversation today. Yeah, so I was able to get up here last week. The Father had me busy on another assignment that I'm working on, but you know what I'm saying. But I'm here today, and you know what? Let's get this conversation in. You know, it's gonna be a little. It's gonna be a conversation that is gonna hit home a little bit. It's not me. I'm not judging anybody. I'm going to say that first. I'm not judging anybody. You know what? Hey, don't make me your moral standards. I'm still a work in progress. I myself fall short of his grace consistently, you know. But I'm going to point out a couple truths that don't make it like I'm asking you. These truths, I want you, once you hear them, I want you to ask yourself these questions to understand where you're at. Like I said, I'm here to help you help yourself. You know, I don't expect you just to listen to whatever I say and okay, yeah. No, don't ever do that. Always do your own homework. You know, don't just listen to what anybody says. Okay, so I received a download. You know what? This podcast was supposed to come out last week, you know, but like I said, I was busy doing something else, but it has to do a little bit with Halloween. Okay, with Halloween. So let's start there. The night of Halloween, it was about 2 a.m. Okay, so for some reason, I've always thought that what I'm saying, because we've always heard that Halloween is one of the biggest days for the enemy for his people to sacrifice and do what they do for him, and it's supposed to be like the biggest day of they're doing their thing, and they're out there partying and they're out there. For some reason, I always thought that it was like, Halloween is from like 3 to 7, and then all that happens is the next night. But then I realized, oh, that's not even Halloween anymore. So that night on the 31st, it turned midnight. So right after midnight at 2 a.m. in the morning, I had this dream. Okay, we'll start with the dream. Okay, the dream was like it was so surreal. It was like I was living it. It was like, I don't know. It was all I saw was I saw like just a whole bunch of like evil spirits just snatching souls and just taking them out and just taking them into the air. Like it was like if I was in the spiritual realm and I'm watching these spirits just snatch souls away and they're being snatched up, and I was watching them. They're like, help, and they're being snatched up. In fact, one of my own family members, I saw. This was struck very hard because I saw one of my own family members, and he got sucked up right in front of me, and I was like, So then when I woke up, I was like, what the heck is going on here? I was like, what? It was like so surreal. My heart was pounding. I felt the emotions. I felt when they got sucked away by these spirits, I felt like I was feeling their feelings, And I'm like, Father, what's going on? And I remember at 2 a.m, I woke up and I felt heavy laden. I felt my spirit heavy. I felt like my spirit was unsettled, So I began to meditate. I began to meditate to the Father, Really quickly, I don't know if you guys ever seen the movie Ghost. It's an old movie, but I think in the 80s movie. I mean, I was a little kid when it came out. If you've never seen it, there's a part where the death and the spirits come and they snatch the souls of the people who are not living correctly. So if you ever want to, that's what I kind of saw. It was kind of something like that in my dream. They were just getting snatched away and taken away. So if you want to see kind of idea of what I saw, check out that movie Ghost, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It wasn't complete like that, but it was just similar to that. So anyways, like I was saying, my heart was heavy. So I started meditating, like, Father, what's going on? What are you trying to let me know here? And that's when I get a download. At this specific, you gotta remember the most spiritual time that there is that hour from 3 to like 5, 2:30 to 5:30, maybe 3 to 6. Just is that around that time? That's the most time where it's considered a spiritual time, because everybody's been sleeping for so long that what I'm saying, you're in REM sleep. And that's when most negative things happen, like sacrifices and all those things happen during that time, because that's like the time that they devote for them to do their thing. So my heart was heavy, and I'm like, why is my heart so heavy? And if I was with the download, he's like, this is a time you don't understand. Right now is a time where throughout all the United States, throughout parts of the world, who celebrate Halloween, this is when they're doing they're sacrificing at this moment. This is the time of sacrifice, the time of sacrifices. And I felt it. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I felt really, 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 really. I gotta say, I felt really, really heavy-hearted. Okay. And then the download continues, like, you feel everything that's happening. All the frequency, the energy was all off. And the files that you see how this is all off. Watch what's gonna happen at 3:00. See, people don't understand that the enemy doesn't gotta tell you what he's doing, but he did all these sacrifices, and who knows what else they were doing at that time. It's not good. Nothing good. Nothing good. Even though you're innocent-minded, at 3:00, all right, let's go trick-or-treating. Let's get dressed. Let's celebrate. Let's celebrate Halloween. Well, guess what you're really celebrating? You're celebrating everything that they did at 3 a.m. So the Father's telling me. And you're going to see how many people are going to celebrate without knowing they're celebrating. My people died because of lack of knowledge. In Hosea, it says in Hosea, what is it? Hosea 6:4. My people died because of lack of knowledge. So they're out there trick-or-treating and having a great time. First of all, hey, I'm not going to sit there and lie and say, like, I never did that. Trust me, when I had young children, I was out there too. I didn't know I was celebrating everything that was going on, but I was out there, So I was part of what was happening before, not that specific night. Okay. So I'm like, man, that's what, I never looked at it that way. I talked to the Father. I never looked at it that way. But wow, man, it's crazy how we don't know what's happening in the spiritual realm, but we're all about it. We're sitting there partying for them over there. And it's not a coincidence that the next day is the Day of the Dead. A lot of Spanish countries celebrate that day. So guess what happens? Guess what happened that night at 2? This is the first at like 2 a.m. More sacrifices, more things happening, and then I know Mexico and a couple other countries, Hispanic countries, celebrate that day. Well, they go to the graves and they celebrate the death. So guess what they're celebrating? They're celebrating everything again that happened that night. I know they don't mean to do it, and they're not doing that on purpose, But that's exactly what they're doing. They're celebrating everything that happened that morning at 3 in the morning. It's not a coincidence that, and the fathers just giving me this download. I'm like, man, you know what? Never thought of it that way. But then he posed a question. He goes, in the Bible, it says that we are in this world, but we're not from this world. We should be setting ourselves apart from everything that the world does. So he posed a question to me. See, the one thing about this specific Halloween is that everybody that celebrate Halloween, every believer that celebrate Halloween, every person that celebrate Halloween had a choice. They had a choice. This specific Halloween, because it fell on a Friday night. Okay? So he posed me the question saying, hey, who do you think people are going to celebrate? Because that's one of the commandments. We're supposed to give that day to the Father, the day of rest. Give it to Him. Let's celebrate the Sabbath. See, you had a choice. Are you going to celebrate the Sabbath? Because Sabbath is Friday night. It starts at sundown, so it started at like 5 o'clock. Or are you going to celebrate tradition? The tradition of men. Which one did you choose to do? I'm not accusing nobody. I'm not judging nobody, but I just want you to know. I don't even want to know what you did. You know what you did. You ask yourself that question. What did you do? Did you celebrate the Father or did you celebrate the enemy? And then right there tells you where you're at. Did you set yourself apart? Did you celebrate the Father? If you follow traditions, guess what? You didn't set yourself apart. You went with tradition. So I'm not saying anything bad. Just know to ask yourself that question, and you still have time to fix it. But that day, everybody had a choice. The Father's sitting there waiting. The enemy's over here. The Father's over here. They're watching the world. Let's see who gets celebrated, who's not, and who doesn't. See? That's what was going on for that specific Friday night. That was going on. See, much higher and much, more than we ever could think of. That's what really was going on in the spiritual realm. It was a day to see, hey, who are my people and who are not. And people told the enemy who his people are, and people told the Father who his people are by the choice that they made. So we're going to read a couple of Bible verses really quickly talking about tradition. See, Halloween is a human tradition. Okay? So let's read what the Father says about tradition. Let's go to the Word. Okay. So we're going to start at Mark chapter 7, verses 7 and 8. Okay. In vain do they worship me, teaching as doctrines the commandments of men. See, the commandments of men, meaning the traditions of men. Okay. You leave the commandments of the Most High Yahuwah and hold to the traditions of men. Which one, that's Mark, which one did you hold? Tradition or did you set yourself apart? Let's go to another one. Colossians 2:8. Let me find it real fast. Colossians 2, chapter 2, verse 8. Here we go. See to it that no one takes you captive by philosophy or empty deceit, according to human traditions, according to the elemental spirits of the world, and according to Yahuwah. Which tradition? Did you go with tradition? Or did you go with the Father? Let's go for one more. We're going to go to Matthew chapter 15. Matthew chapter 15, verse 15, verse 3. We're going to start at 3. 15? Okay. We're going to start at 3. Okay? And this is Yahusha speaking. Okay? He answered them. And why do you break the commandments of Yahuwah the Most High for the sake of your tradition? See? For Yahuwah's commanded, honor your father and your mother, and whoever reviles father or mother must surely die. But you say, if anyone tells his father or his mother, what would he gain from me is given? What would he gain from me is given to Yahuwah. He needed not honor his father, so for sake of your traditions, you have made void the word of Yahuwah. See? Again, you got to understand, the father is always against the man-made traditions. Okay? So, a couple weeks ago, I spoke about traditions and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And like he dislikes traditions. You know, you gotta understand this thing. What are all believers waiting for? We are waiting for the most Yahusha to come down and war with the you know what I'm saying, with the Antichrist and Satan, war with them, and then once he wins that war, he's gonna bring his kingdom down. He's gonna reign for 1,000 years before he brings his kingdom down. He's gonna reign on earth for 1,000 years. He's gonna be king. He's gonna be running everything. What do you think he's going to be celebrating? You think he's gonna celebrate Halloween on the Sabbath, or he's gonna celebrate the Sabbath? We're gonna have to follow what he says. He's gonna want the Sabbath. He's not even gonna allow Halloween to exist no more. Why? Because he never came up with that. That was a tradition of men. Remember that. When everything comes down to it, he's going to come down and he's King of Kings, Lord of Lords. He's the Most High. He's going to run the world for 1,000 years. And when you're the king, you lay your laws. You lay your commandments. You run the world as you see fit. You know what? And when he runs it fit, it's gonna be what it's gonna be great, you know. But see, again, I'm not judging nobody. You ask yourselves these questions, okay? You ask yourselves these questions and see where you're at. And one of the good things is, one of the good things is, let me see. One of the good things is that we still have time. You know, we still have time. Let me see this. Okay, we still have time. All right. So, now, let's continue. An analogy that I saw. Like, this is how the Father teaches me things, you know what I'm saying? So I go through that night, and in the morning I get this video he sends me. I get a video sent to me. And the video is this young man. He's in a podcast. I'm not sure his name. He's in a podcast where he says this analogy. He goes, you know what? He had a dream. And in his dream, he saw a huge open field. It was huge. Okay? And there was a fence right in the middle of the field. Okay? And on this side of the field, the right side, was Satan and his people. On this side, on the left side, was the Most High Yahuwah and his people. And when he walked in, he was asked, "Who do you want to follow?" So he's like, "I don't want to follow you because you're evil, but I do like some of the freedoms that you give me." He goes, "You, Yahuwah, you have too many rules, and saying I can't live my life by following you. So I would like to stay on the fence. I don't want to choose evil, but I do like some things that evil allows me to do. I do want to choose the Most High because I want to go to heaven. Who wants to go to hell? I but they're too strict, and I'm not ready for that. For what you're offering, I'm not ready to give everything up. So I'm gonna sit on the fence. Okay. All of a sudden, some time went, everything went dark. Boom. All of a sudden, everything the light came back on. Boom. The first thing he saw was Satan came and snatched him. Get over here. And the guy's like, no. I didn't choose you. I didn't choose you. I didn't make a choice. I didn't choose you. He goes, well, Satan goes to him, well, that fence is mine. You see, he's the author of confusion. He put that fence, it looked like it was in the middle, but it really wasn't in the middle. It was just a tad to his side. See, it doesn't matter. You have two choices. Either there, and if you don't make that choice, it doesn't matter what other choice you make, you're going there. You either gotta say, I choose you, Yahuwah, the Most High. If you don't choose that, guess what choices you made without even knowing that you made it. You made it right there. So now I've been saying here on this podcast, I feel like sometimes I come on here and the algorithm is holding me down. I get it. The Father says if they hated me, they're gonna hate you. So the enemy doesn't want what I got, what I'm saying. He doesn't want me. He doesn't want the world to hear this. You think the enemy wants the world to hear what I'm saying? No. So he's gonna keep me down, but I'm gonna keep coming. I'm gonna keep coming because I'm the servant of the Most High. I'm a simple servant. I don't give myself titles. I don't say I'm a prophet, I'm a pastor, I'm an apostle, I'm a leader. I know. You know what? I guess I'm just a simple servant that if the Father says, hey, go do this for me, I'm going to go do it. Now, if he gives me a title, if he specifically says, hey, Eddy, you're this, then guess what? Then I'll be like, okay, I'm that. But unless he tells me that, I'm not going to put no title to myself. I'm just a human being. Okay? So then I've been in meditation and in prayer. I'm like, Father, I feel like I'm really I'm like wasting my time because I feel like nobody is listening to me. I'm not saying the algorithms keep me down. No, I'm not reaching no kind of people. I'm not reaching anybody. Saying the algorithm is keeping me down. But see, that's how you know you're doing what the Father wants you to do, because like I said, the enemy, he controls the airwaves. He's the one that controls what blows up and what doesn't blow up. And trust me, if something blew up, it's probably not towards the Father's side, because he wouldn't allow it. If he allowed it, So I'm not saying that everything that he could. I'm not saying that the Father won't give us opportunities to speak. I'm not saying that at all. The Father can override the enemy at any time. He is the Most High. He is the Most High. There's nothing above him. What he says goes. But right now he's allowing the enemy to run this world. He's in the future, in past teachings, I've taught that even Jesus said that the ruler of this world is Satan. I've taught that before here. If you want to hear that one, go back in time. So I was meditating. I'm like, Father, I feel like I'm just wasting my time. Nobody's listening to me, and I'm heartbroken because I feel energy. I feel energy and frequencies. And I go into public sometimes. Sometimes I have to stay home sometimes. The Father has isolated me. Sometimes I'm best off being isolated and just saying, doing my own thing, and saying, if the Father wants to speak to me, I'm there. Because I'm isolated, I'm on my own. He can speak, he can reach out and speak to me, or get a hold of me. Because why? He's isolating me for that reason. So he can educate me. So he can college me into what he's making me, whatever my assignment is going to take me next. So he's been teaching me little by little. I didn't go to theology school. I didn't go to the Bible school institute. No. I learned from the Ruach HaKodesh, which is the spirit of the Most High Yahuwah. And he is the best teacher that there is. Because he teaches me stuff that that we need to know. You go to those places, they teach you a lot of history. Yeah, I like history, but it already happened. And they're nice feel good stories, but we should be preparing for what's coming instead of worrying about what already happened. Okay? But I was praying to Father, hey, Father, because sometimes I feel like not even my own family listening to me. And I can't reach my own family. And I feel like I can't reach nobody. So then, again, he sends me a download, a video with exactly what I needed to hear. Okay? So, remember, when I started, I say, my people die because of lack of knowledge. You must study yourself approved. So, hold on one second. You must study yourself approved. Let's see. Okay, so you must study yourself approved. Okay. So, what do I mean by that? I mean by that you, like I said, again, you can't just listen to what people are saying about the Most High. You must go do your own homework. Because people are out here just following other people, whatever they say, they're falling for it, you know what I'm saying? So here's the message that he sent me, because I was feeling horrible, because I'm like, man, I feel like I'm not reaching nobody. But again, he reiterated to me that, hey, it's not my job to make you guys wake up and to make you guys, see the light. My job is to come and give you the information for you to do your own work so that you wake up and then you see the light that the Father has for us. Okay, so now he sent me this. I'm gonna read it right now. So think about it as the Father speaking here. Okay, or saying, and he's speaking to you guys, to us, to all of us, that who's allowing us to be led by other people. Okay, other people. Okay, so if they never ask for your side of the story, then the side that they heard is exactly how they feel about you. So if you don't ask, if you don't go study yourself approved, and you're just listening to what somebody is saying, that's how how fair is that? You're only listening to half the story, and you're going with the story ignorantly. Okay, that's how they feel about you, and that tells you everything you need to know. People who care will seek the truth. If people care really, they will go study themselves approved. They will seek the truth on their own. They will come to you and ask questions and try to understand. See, you're gonna have to come and ask the Father questions to try to understand Him, to get His side of the story. Because guess what? We're only getting what the world is telling us. But those who jump to conclusions, who accept rumors and facts, were never really on your side to begin with. See? So if I'm sitting there just listening to everybody else, I'm not really on the side. I'm not seeking Him. I'm just going whatever makes me feel good. Okay. Never explain yourself to people who already decided to misunderstanding you. Some people don't want the truth. They just want to believe what fits their version. What fits their narrative. No matter how clearly you speak, they will only hear what they want. See this is a message that the Father gave me. So I wouldn't. He's like, you don't have to feel the way you feel because of these things. Okay. So stop exhausting yourself trying to be understood by those who choose to not listen. You owe no explanation to those who never gave you the benefit of the doubt. Protect your peace. He's telling me, protect my peace. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about what they're making you feel. Don't do that. Don't protect your peace. Guard my energy. Guard my energy. The ones who truly matter won't need convincing. They will see you, your intentions, and your truth without you having to defend it. So let them believe what they want. Let them talk. You just keep walking in your truth. Because at the end of the day, the people who are meant for you, the people who are meant for the Father, will always make an effort to know the real Father. So I received that download the very next morning, and I was like, okay, Father, okay, I get it. Okay, so I shouldn't feel the way I'm feeling because, I go on to crowds and I'm like, Father, how many of these people are right? I'm pretty sure they all think they're right. But realistically, have you been setting yourself apart? Again, you ask yourselves these questions and you meditate on your own life. Because time is coming to an end. You're going to have to make a choice eventually. You're going to have to make a choice. Okay, so right here, I found it here. So we're going to read real quickly. Timothy, let's go to Timothy. 2 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 15. Okay. Here we go. Do your best to present yourself to Yahuwah as one approved, a worker who has no need to be ashamed, rightly handling the word of truth. See? Do your best to present yourself to Yahuwah as one that's approved. You must do your work. You must do the best, you must do the best for you and your family. And if you lead, your family will follow, It's difficult because we're in this matrix. There is a veil over all our eyes. And it's hard to wake up for it because if we're comfortable, why do we want to change? Hey, everything's cool. And in their heads, they think they're doing good anyways. So why change anything? Okay. So now we're going to go to, it was Hosea 4:6, where it says, my people die because of lack of knowledge. We're going to really quickly, we're going to go to 2 Thessalonians 2, chapter 3 to 12. We're going to read that real quick. Okay. Second Thessalonians chapter 2. That word's tongue twister, that word. We're going to go to chapter 2, and we're going to read from 3 forward. Okay? So here we go. Let no one deceive you in any way, for that day will not come unless the rebellion comes first, and the man of lawlessness is revealed, the son of destruction. Okay. Remember, I just got done telling you that we're getting close to the end of days. No one knows the day of the hour, but I can tell you he's not coming today because it tells me right here what's going to happen before he comes. I'm going to keep reading, but it tells me right here, the day of rebellion is going to come, which we're already there. There's a huge rebellion, but the one part that's missing is and the man of lawlessness is revealed, the son of destruction. So when the man is revealed, the son of destruction, then you know we're right there. We're already in the rebellion, so we're halfway there. We just have there's something missing. So he's not coming until that happens. Okay. Okay. Who opposes and exalts himself against every so-called God or object of worship, so that he takes his seat in the temple of Yahuwah, proclaiming that he is Yahuwah. Do you not remember that when I was still with you, I told you these things? See, he said that to his disciples, to the people. He was saying these things. I told you these things, and you know what is restraining him now, so that he may be revealed in his time. For the mystery of lawlessness is already at work. It's already at work. Only he who no restraint it will do so until he is out of the way. And then the lawless one will be revealed, whom the Lord Yahushua, the Most High Yahushua, will kill with the breath of his mouth and bring to nothing by the appearance of his coming. The coming of the lawless is by the activity of Satan, with all power and false signs and wonders, and with all wicked deceptions for those who are perishing, because they refuse to love the truth and to be saved. Therefore, Yahuwah sends them a strong delusion, so that they may believe what is false, in order that we may all be condemned who did not believe the truth but had the pleasure of unrighteousness. Okay, so we're going to go back to that question. Where were you at? What did you choose that night? Think of it. I'm not accusing nobody. I am not judging nobody. Hey, these, don't shoot the messenger. This was just a message that was given to me, and I'm putting it out to you guys for you guys to help yourselves. Again, in Timothy says, you must study yourself approved. You, not me. I'm studying myself approved for me and my family, and I'm trying to educate me and my family, but I'm also here trying to, I'm over here yelling. Hopefully you guys, something can be shaken, and you guys go home and be like, oh man, maybe I do need to pick up the word and read it. Read the promises. Read the all the prophets. What are we waiting for next? What's gonna happen next? Study yourself, because I've always said, when the day of judgment comes, you're gonna be by yourself, and the only one that can help you with that judgment is Yahushua. No one goes to the Father without going through Yahushua the Son. So he's going to be, you don't want to go to that day of judgment. It's going to be like a day of court. You're going to be a court. You're going to be a court, and there's going to be a judge. Who's going to be judging? Yeah, Yahuwah is the judge. And are you going to show up alone and try to, represent yourself? Or wouldn't it be so awesome when you show up, Yahushua shows up for you and says, Father, he's good. Man, how awesome will that be? But what if you're alone and you're sitting there trying to represent yourself, and he's not going to buy what you're saying? Guess what? He saw your whole life. He sees it. Who do you want to be? Do you want to represent yourself? Or do you want Yahushua, the Most High, to come and say, Father, he believes in me. He has faith in me. And you promised me if they have faith in me, that I that you would take them. That you Why? Because no one goes to the Father unless he goes to the Son. How awesome is that, man? How awesome is that? You know? So basically, quick recap. Quick recap of this conversation. Did you set yourself apart on this very knowledgeable Halloween? Remember, you had to make a choice. I'm sorry if he didn't know that you were making a choice. That's not my fault. You know, that's your own fault. Because every Friday night is a Sabbath. Sundown, Friday night sundown to Saturday sundown is a Sabbath. Well, this Friday, that Halloween happened on that day. Which one did he choose? Did you choose setting yourself apart, or did you choose traditions of men? Again, remember what I said, that he's not coming yet. So you have time. You have time to fix what needs to be fixed. It's not too late. This is why I'm here. I'm here to help you guys help yourselves. I'm not perfect. But hey, Yahuwah, that night, that question was for me too. And I went and I celebrated the Sabbath. That was what I did. I don't know what you guys did. You guys answer your own questions. But know that he's not coming yet, so you still have time. So for the future, choose the Most High. Because if you don't choose him, anything else, you're going off with the enemy. Mi gente, que lo que hay. I know this was a tough one, my people. It was a tough one to hear. It was a tough one to give. You know? But hey, if he gives me an assignment, I must come over here and give it to you guys. So that's what I did. Only because I love you guys. Imagine this. I've used this analogy before. Imagine this. Me and you are walking down the street. Okay? Now you're looking at me and I'm looking at you and we're talking. I happen to look forward. I see a semi coming straight at us. How much do I have to hate you to not tell you, hey, or push you out the way, hey, the semi, and me get out the way? This is what I'm doing. I'm trying to push you guys out the way. Now, will you guys accept my help? Or will you just ignore and keep following traditions of men? With that being said, from the Okenda perspective, stay safe. Stay smooth. May Yahuwah bless everyone who got into this conversation. Once again, may Yahuwah bless everyone. Stay smooth. Stay safe. Peace.